Hey peeps, how's it going on? Welcome back to another reefing video. Today, as you can see by the title, it's going to be a review on the Deltec 600i protein skimmer. It's a skimmer I've been using for about 10 months now, just under 10 months. So I thought I'd do a review on it because it took me a while to actually settle on the skimmer. And personally, I couldn't find too many reviews out there when I was, looking to get one. And yeah, I just thought, let's put a bit more info back into the hobby and see, if anyone's looking for one. Hopefully I can share my experiences and stuff with it, with the particular skimmer. Firstly, before I get into the video, this could be the first time you're seeing me. I want to try to do more personal videos, recording myself and, talking in front of the camera and things like that. I do have some notes here. I usually wing my videos and just record them, like off the top of my head. But I want to sort of make sure I'm giving accurate info and stuff like that. So if you see me sort of looking down, there is just a few tips that I've written down and stuff about the skimmer. I will overlay some footage of it while I talk about it. But before I continue rambling for too long, let's get straight into it. First thing I want to talk about is a bit of the features about the skimmer. It is a DC skimmer, so it's variable power. It can run at different sort of flow rates, I should say. And also being a DC, it makes it super quiet. I know protein skimmers, at least AC ones, the main thing about them is obviously they're running at one flow rate, so they are pretty loud in my experience. But the main thing about this skimmer is it is very quiet. So besides that, a few other features that it comes with. Probably one of the main ones, one that I want to touch on right at the start, is a emergency overflow nozzle. Basically, it's a little nozzle on the skimmer that where if the water level gets to a certain point or over a certain point, instead of it overflowing water out of your skimmer cup, it'll overflow through the nozzle straight back into your sump. Honestly, that pretty much sold me on this skimmer, because in my previous skimmer I did have a few times where you'd dose something or you'd have something sort of make your skimmer go crazy and it would just overflow from the skimmer cup, and it was a massive, obviously, selling point for me. Other features it has, it's a really sort of small profile on the actual skimmer, small footprint. Doesn't take up a whole heap of space, and it fits in pretty much most sumps. It is a German-made skimmer, so that's obviously a good thing. The pump is not made in Germany, I believe. It's either made in Taiwan or China. Correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, it's all in all pretty feature-packed for what you're getting. You obviously get your flow silencer, or your air silencer. It's got a twist sort of cap on the actual collection cup, so that's pretty good. And yeah, it's got, I think it has about 8 or so different levels of sort of flow rates. So if you're using the skimmer for a while and you're finding it's not skimming well, you can up the level up, or sort of vice versa. Cost wise, I paid 599 Australian dollars, so definitely isn't a cheap skimmer. In the US and UK and Europe, it probably varies between, I'd say, $300 to $500 /euros, pounds, in that sort of price range. Performance wise, for me over the last 10 months, it's been really good. It's been very good. I've been pretty happy with it. It's really easy to tune, extremely easy to tune. You can get it skimming wet or dry in literally a few turns of the air silencer, and that's been a sort of a big thing for me because I had a lot of troubles with my Red Sea skimmer previously, in sort of getting it to either skim dry or wet, and it kind of just did its own thing. So that's pretty much, yeah, I can only say good things about it over the last 10 or so months. There are a few little drawbacks which I'll get into, but I've had different sort of systems. I've had fish only systems over the last 10 months. I've had a full reef, and it's just a good skimmer. It skims out gunk. Like I'll show you guys in the pictures and stuff. It just skims really well. Now some of the pros and cons about this skimmer, like I said at the beginning of the video, the overflow nozzle is probably the biggest pro that this skimmer is going to offer you. There isn't many skimmers. I don't think I've seen any skimmer with an overflow nozzle. You might get ones with a little sensor that plugs into the top of the collection cup. Once that skimmer hits that sensor, it'll turn off your skimmer, which is really good, but you usually only find those in like your much higher end, or high end skimmers. So yeah, definitely the overflow nozzle is a massive pro for me. The overall ease of use of the skimmer is also a massive pro for me. It is really a plug and play skimmer, guys. It's not, you don't need really to read much about it or read into how to, sort of plug it in, sort of use it, plug it in. Very little tuning it takes, and it just, it skims straight away. Onto the cons though, there are a few cons. Probably the most sort of biggest con of it is there isn't any outlet for the collection cup, so you can't put any little hose on it, a little tap. There's no drain to get rid of the skimmer. You have to take the whole body off the skimmer to empty out the skimmate. Can be a little bit annoying. It definitely may be a deal breaker for some people, but for me, I've sort of gotten around it. It doesn't skim. Like, I don't have too many fish at the moment, so I'm not getting a crazy amount of skimmate. But obviously, if you've got a lot of fish, it could be an issue for you. Another sort of con in my experience, or in the model I have, or the model that's available in Australia, there isn't any neck cleaner. I know there is a neck cleaner that you can get, but I have not seen it being available in Australia. So it is a bit annoying, because that's obviously the part that gets sort of dirty the quickest, and then you can't really see too much after that. And then I guess not really a con, but the controller, it looks a little bit cheap. You are paying $600. It does just look like one of your really cheap wavemaker controllers, which is probably what it is, to be completely honest. Not sure if that's a con, but it's just something to obviously be aware of. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure if they're completely made in Germany. I'm guessing. I'm hoping you're assembled there, but yeah, not sure on that point. It is a German company, but yeah, the major con for me, guys, was just that basically it doesn't have a drain on the collection cup. So now getting into a little bit about why this is more for beginners, this part. Why use a skimmer. I know a lot of sort of systems now are gearing towards not using skimmers, believe it or not, and that's completely up to you, completely fair enough, and if you can make it work, like, good on you. But probably one of the biggest things why you use a skimmer is for balancing your pH, or just buffering your pH a little bit. Obviously, it's going to create a lot of those micro bubbles. It's going to aerate your water. It's going to create a lot of oxygen, which is going to keep your pH a little bit more stable, or a little bit more buffered than not having one. And then obviously the other thing is to really skim out excess nutrients. Now, if you're doing big water changes, you're probably going to negate what a skimmer does, or a lot of it, of what the skimmer collects. I've seen what my skimmer pulls out after not cleaning the collection cup for 1 or 2 weeks. It absolutely stinks, and it's just a crazy amount of skimmate and gunk, and like little bits of absolute, I don't know what it is, nutrients, poo, that it pulls out. And if I don't have a skimmer running, I'm not sure I guess that's just decaying in the water. Personally, on my system, I don't do regular water changes. It's not how I'm doing it. You know, it's not how I've set my reef up. I definitely do water changes, but not like I don't do weekly ones. It'll be like once a fortnight, once every 3 weeks, if that. So I really am relying on my skimmer and my refugium to basically to get me some good you know, sort of nutrient export. Now, sort of just to wrap up this video, I don't want to blabber on too long, 12 minutes, jeez. Just to sort of wrap up the video, if you guys are watching up to this point, I do appreciate it. It's more of like my experience with the skimmer than anything, but I just wanted to talk about versus other skimmers I've used. I've used an ocean-free skimmer before and a Red Sea, so I will mainly compare it with the Red Sea protein skimmer. In my experience, the Red Sea one was a lot worse. Oh, sorry, not a lot worse, but I had a lot of issues with it. I'm not sure if I had like a dud model or something like that, but it just over skimmed constantly. I could never, you know, sort of set it properly. I had it the right length and depth in my sump, and I just I wasn't happy with it. I paid $500 for it, and the Deltec was an extra 100. So in my experience, I made the right choice. I originally was like, if you follow me on Instagram, Melbourne Reefer, you will see I was asking for a lot of help in deciding which skimmer to go with, whether to go with the Deltec 600i, you know, Reefer Octo, or a Great White by Delua. I was very close to buying a Delua Great White, but like I said at the start, the emergency overflow nozzle sold me absolutely on the Deltec, so it kind of ended up being an easy decision for me. But yeah, so far I'm pretty happy. It is a video I kind of wanted to get out for a while, because you know, I've seen like a lot of people, you know, because you're buying it, it's an expensive piece of equipment. $600 here if you're in Australia. You want to get your money's worth. You want to find out info about it. Personally, I couldn't find out too much info on it. You know, all I could see was videos on it running for like 30 seconds and stuff. So I just wanted to sort of share my experience with the Deltec, and you know, sort of tell you guys about it. So sort of to wrap it up, for the price, I'm happy with it. It's a great skimmer. You're not going to be you know, I don't think you'll be disappointed with it. So if you're in the market for a new skimmer, I definitely would recommend it. There's obviously plenty of other good options out there, but yeah, in my experience, it is probably, I want to say, one of the best for you know, in that price range. I wouldn't say it's value for money, because it's not cheap. You definitely are paying for it, but I think, you know, getting the fact that it's silent, well, not silent, but it's very, very quiet. You know, you can change obviously the flow and stuff like that, and with the emergency flow nozzle, you're getting pretty good return on your money. So I hope I didn't make the video too long. It is my first sort of review type video, doing like a face-to-face, so go easy on me, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you enjoy the video. I hope you can take something out of it. I do appreciate if you sub and like the video, and love feedback. But yeah, trying to get out weekly sort of videos in this format and things like that. So yeah, if you find the skimmer, or you were deciding, you know, if you should go with it and you're not too sure, I do recommend it. You honestly can't go wrong with it too much. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Happy reefing.